I have been asked for a resume maybe 2 times in my 16 years in the post-production sound industry as a re-recording mixer. And today, I'm going to tell you why I think you don't need a resume and give you 3 things you can start doing today to ensure that you move to the front of the line in your next job hunt. Hey friends, welcome back to Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel. I'm a sound re-recording mixer, been part of the sound industry for the post-production sound industry for the past 16 years, and I'm here to help you navigate your post-production sound journey. Resumes. We're talking resumes today, friends, and we're going to go a little bit deep and really quick here. I'm going to read a little something to you that I just absolutely love. I think it's a little controversial, yes, but that is how Seth Godin does it. Yes, I am talking about none other than the linchpin himself, Seth Godin. I'm going to read you a little excerpt from this book, Seth Godin's Linchpin. And I don't know if you know him, but Purple Cow, The Dip, Tribes. If you haven't read any of his stuff, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's fast, it's easy, it's good, it's fantastic, and he's just great at it. But we're talking about resumes, and he gets a little controversial here, right? And I'm going to go right to it. I'm going to read you an excerpt here. It's just a page and a half of straight from his book. Okay, it says, do you need a resume? This is controversial, but here it goes. If you're remarkable, amazing, or just plain spectacular, you probably shouldn't have a resume at all. It's like, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about, Seth? If you've got experience in doing the things that make you a linchpin, a resume hides that fact. A resume gives the employer everything she needs to reject you. Once you send me your resume, I can say, oh, they're missing this or they're missing that, and boom, you are out. Having a resume begs for you to go into that big machine that looks for relevant keywords and begs you to get a job as a cog in a giant machine. More fodder for the corporate behemoth. That might be fine for average folks looking for average jobs, but is that what you deserve, friend? Is that what you deserve? The very system that produced standardized tests and the command and control model that chokes us also invented the resume. The system, the industrialists, the factory, they want us to be cogs in their machine, easily replaceable, hopeless, cheap cogs. If you don't have a resume, what do you have? How about 3 extraordinary, I can't speak today, 3 extraordinary letters of recommendation from people the employer knows or respects, or a sophisticated project an employer can see or touch, or a reputation that precedes you, or a blog that is so compelling and insightful that they have no choice but to follow up. Some say, well, that's fine, but I don't have those. Yeah, that's my point. If you don't have these things, what leads you to believe that you are remarkable, amazing, or just plain spectacular? It sounds to me like if you don't have much more than a resume, you've been brainwashed into compliance. Wow. Great jobs. World-class jobs. Jobs people kill for. Those jobs don't get filled by people emailing in resumes. Whoa. Let's break this down. Like Seth Godin going in for the kill. My gosh, going for the jugular. That's crazy, right? I mean, that last line, that last sentence, great jobs, world-class jobs people kill for, those jobs don't get filled by people emailing resumes. I mean, think about it. If I sit back and think about my whole career and I think about the people that are working at the top level in this industry, friend, those people did not email a resume to the big-time directors. They didn't. Their reputation became their resume. Their reputation became their calling card. Everything they've worked on has become their calling card. I remember in college, one of my professors, I think it was a business class, was talking about how treat each job as, or rather gig, I think at that time, because I was a musician, right? Treat each gig as a resume for the next. So treat each job that you work on as a resume for the next. Each project that you mix, each project that you sound design and edit for, or dialogue edit, or if you're a Foley artist that you walk, treat each one of those projects as the resume for the next. The people that are doing the huge projects out there, they're getting the huge projects because they have a reputation in this industry. They have established themselves as the go-to for big Hollywood blockbusters. Friend, those people, they are not sending the resumes in. It doesn't work that way. So in this industry, at a certain level, we'll talk about credibility a little bit. At a certain level, a certain degree, a certain point in their career, they allow IMDb credits to be everything for them. When a director, a producer, most likely when you're talking about big films, you're talking about post-production supervisors, when they're going to choose who is going to take on the post-production sound needs for their film, they are looking at those IMDb credits. That has become the resume. IMDb has become the resume in post-production sound. So you better believe that if you have nothing, zero, zip, zilch, nada on your IMDb, you're going to get overlooked like that. It's just that's the way it is. I go back to when I first started, and I'll never forget. I was caught in that kind of catch-22. It's like, how in the world do I get the opportunities? Like, well, you need credits. I'm like, you need credits, okay. And I've shared this story in the past, but you need credits. How do you get credits? I would ask. Well, unfortunately, you need credits. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you like? I need credits, but the only way I get credits is by getting credits. So it's like, what do I do? Fortunately for me, the way it worked out for me, if you haven't heard this before, I was paired up with somebody who had more credits, and that's how I got my exposure. I started building my credibility by being attached to somebody else who gave me an opportunity, and I'll always be grateful, to them for giving me that opportunity very young in my sound mixing career, and that helped me go on to the next project and build credits and create relationships, because everything snowballs. When you get that opportunity, don't squander that opportunity, friend, right? You're building a relationship, and on top of that, you're showing what you can do with what you've been given. So the top of the top, at the top of the game, right, who are doing this in post-production sound, they're not giving their resumes to anybody. They're allowing their work, their portfolio, to exhibit what they are capable of doing. And chances are, as I'm sure many of you have seen, a lot of the sound professionals, the top of the top, the cream of the top, or the cream of the cream, or I forget the phrase. I'm not, cream of the crop. There it is, cream of the crop. You are all watching what they're doing, and so are the directors and the producers and the post supervisors, and so that is becoming their calling card. So I want to give you 3 things that you can do today that can help you move toward building your resume, showing people your resume. Because do we really want to be that? Do we want to be like what Seth Godin talks about, just another one, in another cog in the wheel, right? We don't want to. And what happens, right? He talked about that. He says, what happens when we give a resume to an employer, right? That employer now knows, oh, they're missing this, they're missing that, they don't have that, they don't have this, they don't have this, and all the other things. So what can we do today? If our resume is not really good, or we really want to, put our best forward, this is what we're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is this, and I refer to my notes here because I can't remember all this stuff on the top of my head. But you want to create and showcase a compelling portfolio. Just like I was talking about the bigs, right? The best of the best in our industry, they have an ongoing portfolio, because you go watch their blockbuster movie. You watch what they've done. they have something that they're a part of, so that continues to build toward them. But we may not all have that, right? So what do? We want to build an online presence, whether that is a website or a channel. We want to be able to have a place where we can put our work out there. I think about YouTube, I think about Vimeo, right? Where can we post our sound reels? Friends, if you are afraid of posting stuff, I'm going to tell you right now that you're getting left behind. We need to face our fears and be willing to put our stuff out there so that people can get to know us. This needs to be our calling card, our sound portfolios. So put together some of your best work, showcase, some of your mixing, some of your designs, some of your redesigns. Like if you don't have the credits, right? You don't have the stuff. There are so many people out there who are redesigning and using that stuff and sharing that with their private groups on LinkedIn, like the Sound Designers group, and they're posting this stuff for other people to critique, give input, get feedback from, get encouraged by. Like just the other day, I saw this awesome design that I I reposted it because I thought it was really awesome. So make sure you're doing that, okay? Highlighting, that maybe the challenges or the role that you had. If you are sharing that and putting that maybe in the description and you're describing a little bit of the challenges, little things that you did, you're giving potential clients and potential employers in the future a little bit of, oh, wow, this person, they faced this challenge, they did this, and look what came out of it. Your real life examples, you're giving this, you're showing that, and putting it on display for potential clients and employers. So demonstrate your skills, okay? Anytime we can include a testimonial, that goes a long way. Maybe you've worked with a producer or you had a director that you did their short film. Hey, reach out to them. And maybe it was a couple years ago, right? Reach out to them and say, hey, would you be willing to give me a testimonial? Give me something that other people can use. Oftentimes, I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say absolutely because they loved working with you. Use that testimonial to garnish or rather gain more. I can't think today. To gain more credibility and potentially more clients as a result. So get those testimonials. And then you want to make sure that you're regularly updating your sound portfolio. Every time maybe you have a project that comes up, or maybe it's been a while since you've updated, make sure you're putting your most, fresh stuff out there, your best foot forward. Okay, so keep that going. Okay, let's move on to the second thing. The second thing, and I talk about this a lot, okay, relationships, but the second thing is network strategically, okay, and secure recommendations. So this, again, has a couple components, right? This, we can be talking about being connected, staying connected, industry events, webinars, workshops, things that you can be around where you can meet key players in the industry, okay? If you're out here in LA, it's a lot easier because there's a lot more accessibility, and it might be a little bit more difficult for someone who's on the East Coast or, in the Midwest, but online, like there are online conferences that you can attend digitally, right? Like one that comes up to mind that I think is coming up pretty soon is Air Wiggles, right? If you're not part of the Air Wiggles community, I know that they're putting on one of their, I think it's a 4-day conference, but it's all virtual, right? And there's a whole bunch of people you can connect and network with virtually. So you should be taking part in that, especially if you're trying to create a name for yourself and get yourself out there. Seeking mentorship, seeking guidance, right? Whether it's asking somebody who has the time, who's willing to put that, or getting signed up for a paid mentorship, a paid coaching, getting advice from somebody who is more experienced than you. They can help guide you. They can tell you, hey, maybe look at this angle or look at this. Have you tried this? That's a very important key component that you shouldn't look at. I'm a huge advocate for it. Don't overlook it. And then requesting the letters of recommendation, right? Whether you've worked with a mentor in the past or colleagues, clients, and I think LinkedIn actually does it. You can actually ask for recommendation from people on LinkedIn. So if you've known people that you've worked with in the past or have a relationship, get the recommendation from them. That goes a long way, okay? So that's part of the second thing we could do. And let's move to the last thing, or the last thing being create engaging and insightful content. Friend, it's not always about a YouTube channel, but I always say this now that I'm in this content game, right? I'm here. YouTube is the second biggest search engine. I don't know if you knew that, right? Second only to behind Google, which they're all part of the same family, right? So starting a YouTube channel can be a huge benefit for you, especially trying to get your name out there, right? And goes toward, not having a resume and having a place where you can host stuff, put your stuff out there. You don't have to talk. It doesn't have to be like a talking head kind of thing. It could be just putting your redesigns, putting some sound, some sound stuff that you've worked on. But if you're not, and not all of us are, inclined to the YouTube thing, you can start a blog, okay? I think it's Randy Tom, right? Awesome, amazing sound legend, Skywalker, director of sound design at Skywalker Ranch. He's got a blog. Did you know that? Did you know he has a blog? And if you're not reading that, go check it out, okay? I haven't been on there recently. I mean, maybe a couple months ago I was on it, but I'll put it in the link below. That's gold, friend. That's gold. Go be checking that out. But if you're maybe someone who has a better time or has more confidence in writing, start a blog. Maybe it's reflecting on trends in the industry or content that's out there, maybe the movies that are out there right now, the sound jobs, things like that, whatever it is, insights that you may have in your specialty, you should be starting a blog, putting it out there, because some of us are better with words, and I totally get that. So starting a blog or a YouTube channel might be the best thing for you. You want to demonstrate your expertise, obviously, right? You want to allow your content to demonstrate that, right? What you're an expert at. Some of us excel in certain areas than others, right? I spent a lot of time sitting at the mixing console and have for many, many years, right? One thing I have done and could be good at it, but I really hate and despise, and I don't. I spent my time doing it, right? I got my licks was ADR mixing. I despise recording ADR because it's too stress-inducing for me. But I did it. I had to do it. I was doing ADR in a mobile unit, right? We would go on set and we would have the actors come in and do it. I hate it. I'm terrified. So I am not an expert at. I am an expert though at this, and mixing stuff for TV and for film, doing it fast, doing it well. One thing I really pride myself is in my really rich mixes and utilizing all the space and the surrounds. I love that, and that's what I do. So stick to what you are good at and demonstrate that you are an expert in that. And then lastly, engaging the community kind of falls under this third category, but responding to the comments, engaging in the conversation. Something we joke around and we like to say, it's like, even though we may be up for a job or something, as long as our names were mentioned, we're in the conversation, our names are in the conversation, we're happy with that. So being involved in conversations online is a good thing, okay? So engage the community. You can build relationships. And some of you who watch this, this channel right here, this small little channel, we've created relationships online, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram, or even here in the comments. So, engage. So I hope that by implementing these tips, you can start to rethink what having a resume can do. You may not have a strong resume, but by utilizing these 3 tips, you can start taking steps to ensure that you are headed in the right direction in building a career in the post-production sound industry. So I hope you find it helpful. If you did, let me know which aspect you connect with. Let me know in the comments. But if you haven't already, pick up this book by Seth Godin. It's amazing. I think I got this. Yeah, I got it for $4. I got it for $4 at Savers. Savers is like a thrift store. I couldn't believe it, right? What I've learned in this for $4 is worth 100 times that. But friend, go check it out, okay? It's fantastic. But thank you for being here today. It's a little bit of a off the cuff kind of a video, but I appreciate you being here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Or if you found this helpful at all, please share it with your social media networks, whether it's on LinkedIn, here, other platforms. Share it with somebody who maybe is looking for some help when it comes to resumes. But don't be a cog. Be remarkable. Be known for going the extra mile. And I think that's really the epitome of this book. And I'd love to share some more things maybe in the future about this, because I really find there's a lot in here. We want to be known by our work ethic, by our reputation. And in this industry, it's about being an awesome person. Yes, we need to know what we're doing, right? We have to have good edits. Our mixes need to sound good. But on top of that, are we going the extra mile? Are we putting in the extra effort? I think anybody that excels in this industry is constantly thinking about pushing the envelope and going the extra effort. We want to create wonderful experiences for our clients and for our filmmakers, and that's what keeps them coming back. So thank you again for taking time. I will see you either in the comments or in one of these other videos on the side. And if you're new here, I forgot, if you're new here, this is the first time you landing here, and you want to learn what it takes to make it in the industry, I have a free gift for you. Go to masteringpostproductionsound.com/insiders-guide to grab your free guide. It's my tip, my insider's tip to navigating the post-production sound industry. Thanks, friend. I'll see you in the next video.